Okay, this is one of my happy surprises today. Look at this double daffodil. Again, I didn't remember that this was a daffodil mix, but it has been so much fun seeing all of the different blooms and bloom forms that have erupted out of this bed, which is just a year old. It makes me happy, and it's another pleasant surprise. Well, I think to experience surprises, you need to be open to them and constantly be observing what's around you. And I noticed when I was deadheading all of these moondance hydrangeas, I look back underneath here, and there are some wonderful pieces of large bluestone flagstone back here. Maybe we did it for water reasons, water mitigation, drainage issues, originally when we built this flower bed, but there's four pieces back there that are huge, and they will be much larger and much more foot-worthy, I think, and I can replace some of the smaller path stones that I've got going through the flower beds up front with these larger pieces of flagstone. Another happy surprise. Okay, this was so fun for me to show the high schoolers that were here today and kind of how it came about. I asked them if they recognized what these seedlings are. You guys, your sharp-eyed viewers out there, no doubt recognize them immediately. And these are little pumpkin seedlings that came up from a rotted jack-o'-lantern that was here last fall. I always forget that these are going to appear, and sometimes, if possible, I can pull them up. This may or may not work. That one did not work. But sometimes I can dig them up or pull them up and give them to kiddos that walk by. And it's just another fun surprise that you see in spring from something that you did in fall. Okay, that is one of those absolutely gorgeous It's a Breeze ivory roses. And you may recall that I had one over here on the west side that succumbed to rose rosette, and I dug it out. But when I removed it, and as I was planting some stuff in here this spring, I think I may have shown you that there's another one that layered itself, rooted in place, and so I've got another rose over here. But what I didn't realize until the kids that were here this morning pointed it out to me, I've got another one here, look there. And I've got another one here. And that makes me very, very happy. And then also over in here, because a lot of this stuff is just starting to germinate, a lot more of that dill seed that I planted is germinating and coming up than I thought was possible. So it's really fun. A lot of it's coming up all throughout this area. And this
they thought it was carrots, didn't they?
Yeah, this is a very distinctive look. It's dill seed, and I've got a number of them. It's one of my favorite cut flowers, and I think it'll be really, really beautiful. I transplanted one of the leucanthemum that was there. I planted it over in here because this bed will largely be perennials and also annuals that have gone to seed. Well, today's video is all about really fun surprises that I have encountered in the garden as I've been going around through it in the course of my daily rounds. Things that were just unexpected that gave me some delight. So let me show you some of the surprises in my garden today. Okay, some backyard surprises. Actually, I've got several of them for you, or at least a couple. So you may recall that, gosh, it was almost a month ago that I did a flower arrangement, and I was forcing some branches from my star magnolia and other things from the front yard. And this was a branch that I had in a flower arrangement for a very, very long time. It was with some amaryllis. And I noted that when I was deconstructing that to wash out the vase, I noticed that, boy, the flowers have fallen, but look at that beautiful leafy green that's still coming out. And this looks like it's a really viable branch. This was what I had tucked into the arrangement. And if we can find that arrangement, I'll show you the picture. But I had this tucked into a great big vessel along with those amaryllis. Well, I thought, boy, this looks fresh and vibrant. And then, happy, happy day. Look here. See all these nubs? See my manicure that's gonna happen? But look at all of those white bumps. Those are turning into roots. And I can then take this branch and stick it in the ground, and I will have another Jane magnolia. And when I was showing that to the high school students, they thought that was pretty cool. Maybe not as cool as I thought it was, but pretty cool. The other thing that I love this time of year, life will find a way. And boy, this stuff, the lives are finding a way. So I showed you the Easter baskets that I planted with grass seed, and I said, in the past, I've gotten germination in as little as 3 days. Well, this took probably 3.5 days, but look here. Look at all that new growth coming up. Can you see all the new baby grasses coming up? Now, what's interesting to me, and it also supports my argument, that if you want seed to germinate really, really quickly, throw some gravel in it or try to start seeds in a gravel bed, because it provides residual warmth from the stones themselves, which will enhance germination, but also it tends to hold in moisture and retain moisture. So you'll notice that this one, how much more quickly it became full and germinated than this one. This one is just now starting to show signs of life. Can you see it? Yeah, just signs of life. So that's kind of fun, and I've got them underneath these cloches. I brought them, as soon as I saw germination, I took them from my stovetop and brought them out here. Now look, this germinated in 3 days. Look at that lettuce, the baby lettuce in there. That germinated very, very quickly, and then this little tub will be what I use for baby Danny's Easter basket. So that's really, really fun, and if you want to plant your own living Easter baskets, then you might want to do that pretty quickly so the grass has a chance to grow and be lush before April 5th. Well, so many of you have asked, what about my forgotten bed in the alley? And it is both a success and not a success. But what is the surprise back here? Well, I forgot that we planted daffodils back in here, specifically a bunch of Winston Churchill daffodils. And by the way, if you want to plant a daffodil that is fragrant, I highly recommend it. And back in this soil that is just really rough, heavy clay, poor nutrition soil, these will do just fine. You can see that there's some planted here too. And look at how many buds they've got on them. And I had forgotten that we planted them in here. And ideally, this fall, I'll probably plant even more. Now, what was not a success was some of the things. You may recall that along this edge, I put some starts, a bunch of starts of sedum autumn joy. Now, bear in mind, you know, reality bites, but this is an alley, and we get so many heavy trucks through here, especially now because 2 of the houses on my street are being renovated, as many of these older homes are, and because of that, they access through the back. And so lots of heavy trucks come down this way, and you can see where a lot of the trucks have kind of squished some of this and on my border. Now, what I might do is I'll try to find some kind of free organic material, some kind of stone, some kind of concrete or something to make a border along here that's a little bit more clearly defined, because there is enough clearance here for trucks to be able to make it by without rolling their tires down over the bed itself. So that's something that I'll work on. In terms of what germinated and what didn't germinate, well, that's been a little bit of a disappointment because we've had so little rain, and I irrigate this not at all. But there is back here lots of, and sadly, I think when some guys came from my neighbors to weed eat. I think they weed eated down a bunch of the larkspur that was in here. But I see signs of some other things germinating, and I think it'll be okay. So we'll just, it is what it is. We'll just see what happens. I am sure that there are some things in here that will grow up to be adults and will bloom, and then hopefully it will just be a sustainable kind of gardening project, because things will bloom, go to seed, and then some of those will keep coming back. Will I have to help it along with some other starts? Yes, I will, but I anticipated having to do that. It's just an experiment after all, but definitely what worked back here and was a great surprise were all of these daffodils.
A gardener's risk
Worth taking. Well, I don't know if technically this is a surprise, but the effect was surprising to me. And when I took my olive trees out of the greenhouse, I fully anticipated that I would put them back where I had them, in between the raised vegetable beds at the back of the fence line. But they had grown so much, and I just decided to kind of rethink it. So this one looked beautiful when I temporarily positioned it on the steps, as you recall, but then I thought, well, maybe I can do something equally as, that will give me the look that I want back here in the backyard. So I put it here, where I used to have that raised saucer bed. It lends softness to this corner and visual height, and height was what I had been missing this entire time. So I love the way it looks here, and then happy surprise to me, this container fit perfectly inside a basket that I already had, really perfectly inside this basket. And yes, I will elevate it a little bit to get it off of the ground so the bottom of the basket won't rot out. Will it decrease the lifespan of that basket having it outside? Yes, it will. But to get this effect, well, I think it is worth the sacrifice. So I hope you enjoyed this today. Just some little fun surprises that we had in the front yard, in the backyard, and even in the alley.